cleaning the church.
How'd you meet the pastor?
He was a client at the fish house.
Okay. So
I waited on his table.
Oh, see, this whole story, man, this whole thing is about opportunity.
Yeah.
You're coming out of prison. You're trying to work. You know you want more. You're just talking to the guy, probably being a good waiter, just having friendly conversation.
Yeah.
Finds out he's a pastor. He invites you to church. You go there, rolling your eyes, maybe not really, not trying to go to church, but you do.
Yeah.
And then he gives you an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then you capitalize on that. So where did it go from there? Where's your business now?
We just celebrated our 4th year anniversary. We are up to 17 employees. I'm on my 2nd office. We have vans now that go all over the city. We have a 24-hour operation. We do residential cleaning, and we do residential, commercial, and post-construction cleaning. To date, I haven't spent $1 on marketing or advertising, and we're approaching $1 million a year in sales.
Dude, what?
If you're a man that controls his own destiny, a man that is always in the pursuit of being better, you are in the right place. You are responsible. You are strong. You are a leader. You are a force for good. Gentlemen, this is the Alpha Quorum.
Welcome back to the Alpha Quorum Show. Brad Singletary here. I'm super excited about our guest today. I want to tell you a little bit about him. First of all, he's 43 years old. He owns 3 businesses here in Las Vegas. He's the father of 6 children. He's the head coach of a 6 and under tackle football team. He has a college degree in business administration, lettered in football and basketball at Fresno State University. Out of high school, he got a full ride offer. Between college and when he started his businesses, he spent 9 years in prison. We're going to talk about his journey and the ways that he's turned himself around. These are the best kind of stories. This is the best kind of man that I know. 43-year-old dad who's just out there getting it done, making big things happen in business. Has a beautiful wife, a beautiful family, working on a beautiful business, multiple businesses that these guys are operating. We're going to have him share some of that with us. Gentlemen, please welcome Ramsey Venner.
Yes, sir. In the building.
Dude, glad to have you here, man.
Man, this is a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a blessing. Thanks for the opportunity. And yeah, man, I'm ready to get into it.
We'll get a picture. They'll have a view of you from the little cover graphic. But dude, how tall are you?
I'm 6'6". Listen, playing weight, I think I was like 285, 290. If I stay away from the donuts, I can get it like a slim 276, and I'll be
dude. So
and that has me good.
So Fresno State, played football at Fresno State. Derek Carr went to Fresno State, right?
Yes, sir. I played with D. Carr. I played with Michael Pittman. I played with a lot of dudes, man. Bernard Berrien, Charles Smith, Anthony Limbrick, man. Just the list goes on. Some real solid cats, guys that made a lot of noise in the NFL. And just, a lot of us are still brothers today. Dante Marsh is still my brother, man. We chop it up on a regular. He's actually pushing a really good program up in the Bay, or like I think Stockton, California type area, and he's a defensive coordinator or DB coach for CCC, Central Coast or something like that. Contra Costa County. I'm not sure, but yeah, man, I got a solid crew around me, and I come from a pedigree of amazing people, man. Pat Hill was my coach at Fresno State. I even played under Coach Jerry Tarkanian.
Wow.
Yep. I walked onto the basketball team.
So, and then you're coaching. We talked a little bit before the show. You're coaching your son's 6-year-old football team, that Henderson Cowboys. My son was on that team, and the 6U team, and they won the national championship in San Diego.
Championship?
Yeah, they were down in San Diego. It was an all-weekend tournament, and yeah, he got a ring and everything, man. It was pretty. That's
big shoes to fill, baby.
That's an elite team. That was like 8 years ago now. So yeah, good times. That stuff is fun.
Listen, I went out there trying to do, just to get Shiloh involved, and the idea was, I was gonna. But I'm just not a sideline dude, man. I sat out there and I was watching the coaches and kind of seeing him lose his way, start playing with bugs and grass and all that. I'm like, I got to get my dude involved. So, I volunteered to coach on the 7U team because they had as soon as I got out there and the director of our program saw that, you know, I had a little taste for trying to do something more with the kids, he was like, yeah, so we're going to start up a 6U and you are going to be the coach.
The coach.
And I was like, all right. Damn it.
I bet they love it. I bet you're good at it, man. How you doing this year? Are you started playing?
We had our first game yesterday, and we took an L in the first one, but it gave us a lot to work with. One, I'd never been a head coach before, and learning the rules. You know, it's 8-on-8.
Yeah.
The other team, we were trying to, you know, respect the rules of football, and we're gonna have, you know, our linebackers stand back and like play their position. And these dudes lined up 6 people on the line and blitzed every play. And I was like, that ain't football. But, yeah, we got a lot of work to do. So we're going to get it right.
So you went to college, played some ball, both football and basketball at Fresno State. You're running 3 businesses now. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so, 2018, I came to Las Vegas. And, you know, it was a long, bumpy road. I lived in Reno before that, and I was getting in trouble in Reno. And, you know, full transparency, I went to prison a bunch of times for, you know, DUIs, and just I was trying to find my way, and I couldn't get it right. I couldn't last. One of the things I joke about with my wife now is that I used to always just listen, if I could get through the summer, so, if I could get through the summer, then, you know, it's going to be all good. Right. And that's how low the ceiling was for me for a minute, bro. Like all I just wanted to do was, if I could just get through one summer of just, you know, not being a knucklehead, then that's going to be a good summer for me, or it might be a good year, really. That was by my calculations. So 2018, I came to Las Vegas. I was tired of getting in trouble in Reno. I put my head down. I started as a server at King's Fish House right here in Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at King's Fish House as a server, worked my way up to a trainer, got promoted into management. It was actually my first management job. And the entire time, I mean, like this was coming off of a 7-year skid, bro. Like I was away for a minute.
Right.
And got into the world. And I just say, you know, with that being my life previous, anything outside of that, I'll take it. I didn't care about how long I worked. I didn't care about how much I made, really. I was just like, anything to not be, you know, in that box, in that situation, in that, you know, 8x10 room with another grown man, like, that's going to be a better life for me. Yeah. And legit, man, I poured into the job. I let them pour into me. They gave me, you know, so much insight and understanding about how to be, you know, in a position of leadership and how to, you know, work with people and manage schedules. And like, I just was like, I soaked everything I could in. I started my first business, Clean Freak Janitorial, June 18th, 2018, like about 6 months out. I was just so eager to be in business for myself that you know, it was a side hustle, but I was like, I know if I could just keep at it, it's going to be all right. It's going to I need to start something. And we started out doing a couple residential spots up here in Henderson. And the guy had like 3 real nice houses, 5-6 bedroom houses over there off of Warm Springs. But he had house hacked them where all of the different people that lived in there didn't know any of the other people.
Oh, like little separate units in there or something.
Yeah. But there was like, it's just bedrooms. So basically we took that and turned it into, he wanted me to do the common areas. And my only request was, I didn't know how to bid. I didn't know how much work was involved. I didn't know if it was going to be a good look. I just said, listen, can you put the name Clean Freak Janitorial on the check? That's all I cared about, bro. Send a check to the company. And he was like, okay, yeah. So he's getting over on me. I mean, I'm telling you,
you got took.
Bro, I got took for a wild ride right there. I used to get there and I mean, the trash would be stacked up 2 trash cans because everybody's walking by each other. They don't know each other in the house. Like in a regular family, it's a dynamic. Like we're not going to leave the house looking like this. Or, you know, if everybody's nasty in the family, that's the family. But like usually if there's a mom, there's a dad, there's somebody that's saying, don't leave the house like this, pick up your clothes. There was none of that in this place, right? So there's some people maybe smoking weed in the living room. Some people You know what I mean? Trash in the bathroom. There's a female that's a stripper. It was a cool situation.
Were you doing in the beginning? You were doing the cleaning?
Everything myself, bro. I showed up in this house and, put my gloves on and I'm cleaning common areas like sweep, mop, restrooms, the worst of the worst, right? And taking out the trash, cleaning the kitchen, getting the greasy stove, everything, bro, out the microwave, everything. Didn't care. And this is after doing a 6, 7, 8 hour day working. Then after I got promoted to manager, a 14-hour day working. And then
you're working at the fish house for a full-time job, and then you're running this little business.
This is my side hustle.
Now you're cleaning people's bathrooms at night.
At night, bro, or Saturday morning early or Sunday morning early. Yeah, whatever it took. And just started talking to my clients while I was there. I was talking to, anybody I could, and I was telling them about, my dream to start another business or this little small business that I got going. I don't know how to get clients, but, look, this is what we could do for you, or this is what I want to do. And, give us a shot, give me an opportunity. And I got a couple of the regular clients that I had that gave me that shot. And I ended up talking to Senior Pastor Vance Pittman from Hope Church. Mm-hmm. Great guy, my brother to this day. I'm talking about my legit, I feel we're kindred spirits, like me and you, bro, same vibe. Where I met him, told him it was good chemistry. Mm-hmm. He's got a beautiful family. I didn't even know how big of a dude, in relation to who he was, right? He was like, yeah, I'm a pastor of a church. And I was like, oh, dang, that's good, bro. And Jesus? I was like, I met him before. I heard of him. I think there's a book about him or something. You know what I mean? I was giving it up for him in that regard. And then I talked to him. He was like, well, look, man, I should maybe introduce you. One, you got to come to church. I said, okay, bet. So I came down and checked out the church and, he was like, how'd you like service? So next time I saw him I was like, it was dope. I was like, I don't know. I'm not, I ain't gonna tell you I didn't hate it. And that's all I had. And he was like, all right, man, I'm gonna probably introduce you to Lou or our facilities guy over there. And I don't know if anything's gonna come of it. Just talk to him. So I met him, talked to him, and nothing happened from right off. But he was another guy I vibed with real tough. And actually to this day, still my mentor. But I met him, talked to him, and told him my desire was to be in business for myself. And, I didn't have a family. I was dating a girl. That's all I had. And he was like, so this is a big job, man. You know what I mean? It's not a small place. I require this and I require that. I said, well, I got nothing else going on, man. So whatever you require, I'm gonna do it. And that was it. You know what I mean? I was like, that's it. And that's my attitude towards it. He was like,
killer.
He was like, what about your other gig over there? I said, I'll handle it. That's on me to worry about. If you give me the opportunity, I'm going to do whatever it is that you need done. And legit, it took about 5 months where I didn't hear anything. I kept calling. I kept checking back. We haven't done anything. We haven't decided. I'm going to give this guy a chance. And he expressed that he was having some kind of doubts with this current provider, but as I've gotten into business, I learned it's something that, happens. You take your eyes off the ball, take your eyes off the prize, and, it can get where your clients are wondering how important they are to you, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was going on. It took a bunch of months. I kept working at the fish house. I started getting other little clients. Then one day I got a call, and he was like, hey, so come on over here. I want to talk to you about something. And I was like, and listen. Today, I made a couple $100 here, $100 there, but it wasn't anything super significant. It was I had a couple of people that were dialing my number on a regular, and enough to where, it even started interfering with work a little bit. I'm getting, because now I've learned how to put out my ads, or I made up a little flyer or something saying, come check me out, or we're doing a special for spring cleaning. Any little thing that I can, because I'm trying to build my business. Anyway, at one point he was like, yeah, come on over here and let's talk about it. So I get over there and I talk to him, and he's like, you think you can handle this? And I was like, well, there's nothing that's going to stop me from giving you everything that I got. If my best is not good enough, then that's going to be the only thing, because I'm going to give you my best. And, he basically told me that, Here, we're going to give you the opportunity. Do you have your paperwork in place? And I needed my insurance and my, licenses. I had everything in place at this point. And yeah, that was like one of my first big ones. And to this day,
so
4 years later.
You were cleaning the church?
Cleaning the church.
Dude.
Cleaning the church.
Well, how'd you meet the pastor?
He was a client at the fish house.
Okay. So
I waited on his table.
Oh, see, this whole story, man, I can already see it shaping up. This whole thing is about opportunity.
Yeah.
You're coming out of prison. You're trying to work. You know you want more. You're just talking to the guy, probably being a good waiter, just having friendly conversation.
Yeah.
Finds out he's a pastor. He invites you to church. You go there, rolling your eyes, maybe not trying to go to church, but you do.
Yeah.
And then he gives you an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then you capitalize on that. So where did it go from there? Where's your business now? Clean Freak.
I mean, we're our 4th year in. We just celebrated our 4th year anniversary. 2018 to 22? Yeah, June 18th, we celebrated our 4th year in business. We are up to 17 employees. I'm on my 2nd office. We have vans now that go all over the city. We have a 24-hour operation. We do residential cleaning, and we do residential, commercial, and post-construction cleaning. We do like if they go and build a building from the ground up, we're the people that touch it last before they hand the keys over to the owners.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we do that. And then one of the things that I'm the most proud of with it has allowed me to launch my 3rd business, which is Blueprint to Janitorial Success.
Okay.
Now in those 4 years, every lesson that I've learned, every tip and trick on how to be the best, cleaning service in the world, reputation. I haven't spent $1 on marketing or advertising. And we're approaching $1 million a year in sales.
Dude. What? See, you got every excuse in the book.
Yeah.
You got every excuse in the book to just be super average. You know what I mean? Because I'm guessing with the legal background and stuff, was that a limiting factor with the jobs and stuff coming out?
I mean, a lot of people say that, bro. So I don't know. I never accepted that as a reality, right? Of course you can. It just never was my reality. I'm a felon, man. I've been a felon for a lot of years. I got jobs every year that I was a felon, like from 2000 and I started getting in trouble in like 2000.
So you just ignored that whole notion.
Why
that
accept
you can't do it?
Well, why accept it though? Tell me that. Why accept it? Why say because somebody told me that that's what I am, that I have to accept that label? Why? Because if I accept that label, then I accept everything that comes with it. Oh yeah, I'm a felon. I'm an ex-felon. I can't get a job. I can't be regular. I can't do anything but continue to get in trouble with crime. Nah, that's not how I want to live. I've been in the box. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It wasn't cool. Somebody telling me, the most emasculating thing about prison, bro. The most emasculating thing about prison, and as a man, I don't know if it's like the shame or the guilt, but they try to break you down on day one. When you're there and you got to do the strip out, because they check your clothes or whatever, and they hand you somebody else's underwear, bro. Somebody else's, like, these are the underwear that you're going to wear going forward. This is your uniform. This is your new outfit. You feel me?
Right. Yeah.
It'll touch you, bro. It does something to your spirit, like,
you don't get to choose what kind of drawers you wear.
What kind of drawers? I don't wear that. What you mean? I don't wear the dun-dun-duns. You feel me? Like, they give you the Batman drawers. Here, bro, put these on. And this is what or nothing. Right?
Hey.
That touched me, bro. And every time you go there, because I went a couple times, I wasn't like, I didn't learn from I didn't get serious time where I thought because it was a DUI, this isn't that bad. This isn't, a super, serious thing. I'm not robbing people. I'm not out here being a criminal. Yeah, I got caught drinking and driving. But I had a Judge Brent Adams in Reno. Him and his prosecutor, they gave me, bro, I remember when I got the time that changed my life. It's making me emotional because it's like they hit me with a bar I had never ever heard before, right? So my lawyer was a paid attorney and I thought I was in good hands, and I was like, he came funny story. He came in the little room before before I went out to get my sentencing. All right, Mr. Venner, look, it's all good. So we got you. We got all of your letters from your family, and we got all of the information that you gave us about attending AA, and we know that you're working right now, and we see that you're trying hard. Listen, I've talked to the judge. I had previous dealings with him. He said his daughter. He said his daughter. Listen, we got relations outside of this, so he knows if I back somebody, then he's really a good dude. You know, maybe he should. You're gonna be okay. Listen, I've talked to him and I talked to the prosecutor. Yo, I went out there. This guy ran this whole thing about, yeah, Mr. Venner's working, and you know it would be a super detriment to his family. I mean, he's got a young daughter right now, and if he was to get sent away, his daughter wouldn't have the benefit of growing up with her father, and she's in the critical years of her life. And he like so hard on that. That was the tie-in. His daughter had some kind of a issue, and the judge was there and supported him through his daughter's issue. So he felt like by relating my defense to my daughter, that would kinder the judge to give me some kind of favor, whatever his play was, right?
Right.
Look, he said that, rested his case, and then the DA stood up and he said, Your Honor, we heard about Mr. Venner and his daughter, and how it'd be such a terrible thing if he was to go away. And I just like to have you take a look at Mr. Venner. Mr. Venner, if you don't mind standing up. And I'm like, so I stand up, and he's like, what are you, he's like about 6'6", 275, maybe the paperwork here says he's like 280 pounds. He said, Your Honor, I would be ashamed if I was that big and I tried to hide behind a little girl. I said, bro, it went downhill with skis on from there, bro. I mean, he just let me have it, man. This guy, I was the worst thing since you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, he's like, and here's the bar. He said, the thing with DUIs, Your Honor, is that we don't know who the victim is. And that kind of hit hard, right? He was like, if he was a robber, if he was a victim, you know what I mean? We'd have the person here that could point out and say he did this. He said, but when this guy makes the choice to get alcohol in his system and get behind, a 2,500 pound vehicle and drive crazy, we don't know who he can hurt. We don't know who he could kill. You don't know who you scared on the freeway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just because you were swerving or you did something bad. Yo, I'm pouring my heart out to you right now, bro, because it's like that line, it resonated with me. I thought about my parents, my mom, my dad, anything, my loved ones, even being in a life and out there, like you don't think about it. Somebody swerving and just, they could mash you and just wreck your life, dog. Wreck your life without, you having you're not in the wrong. And this thing happens to you because somebody else made bad choices. And when that happened to me, I accepted whatever came with it. And look, and some came with it too.
Yeah.
He handed me time like it was sitting around by his foot, Jack. He gave me a 6 to 15 year sentence.
Wow.
No accident, no death, no person got hurt. I came in front of the same judge too many times. 6 to 15 years. He said 75 to 120 months. That's how they give you time in Reno, right? To 120 months, bro. Like, I couldn't even I'm like, what are you talking about?
You gotta do some math right there for me.
Is this guy talking to me, bro? Like, are you serious? So anyway, that happened.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I
seems like even in that though, you had a decent attitude about it. Like you're saying, you just accepted whatever it was.
Well, I mean, at that point, I've seen the court TV shows when you go jump over the fence and try to run up out of there. It was like that, or and they're not. So at this size, at 6'6", 250, 270, I know me and the police. If I ever fight them, it's not going to be a good look for your boy, right?
Right.
They're going to call all of the cops they can. It's not. So I've always been respectful. Actually, my mom taught me that because she used to be a Harris County Sheriff in West Palm Beach.
Wow.
So always been respectful, always like had decent rapport. I understand he's doing a job. And if I wasn't in the wrong myself, why would me and this dude be in conflict, right? You know what I mean? We're only in conflict because I'm choosing to be a knucklehead on this day. So I never took that stance that, I'm F the police or, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the way it's gotten now, that's totally different. But like, as it related to my personal situation, I never felt like the cops were just the problem previously. Now it's a little crazy to what's going on in the world right now. But
I started my career in behavioral health, working around like the justice, some of the folks in the justice system, juvenile justice and adult probation and parole and stuff. And you definitely think different than a lot of those guys. And I wonder if that's something you developed or you've always been there. A lot of them, frankly, are psychopaths. You know what I mean? These are sociopathic. There's no empathy. They don't really care. Even in what you're talking about, you're saying you were affected by the things that were being said by the prosecuting attorney. And like, I don't know, your mind is different than a lot of those cats. You spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
How is it different? What did you have to shape yourself? Is this maturing that you've done, which I'm sure you have, obviously?
I mean, I feel the plight, right? I feel the struggle. I mean, I'm aware and I've studied. I mean, you can see in black and white, if you study history, American history, that, the United States government through like the New Deal, they subsidized the destruction of the family and mainly poor families. Because if you get the mom out or you compensate the mom for having more kids, but take the money away if there's a male around, then you replace the male with the state, which has like tremendous ramifications, negative ramifications for the family structure. The family structure is demolished because of things that we thought were benefits for the poor and disenfranchised, right? But It's not the case.
I love what you're saying. I'm glad you're saying it.
Absolutely not the case. All of those things, those programs that are set, I mean, there's a certain sect of the population that you should say,
sure,
you're down on your luck right now. Here, let me give you a hand up. But when you have generational welfare, generational people on food stamps, and they never think to get out of it because this is how it's always been. And you normalize all of the things that are negative. We normalize drug dealing. We normalize hustling. We normalize, the idols are not the person that's going to work. He's cracked on and made jokes of, right? Oh, you got that job, man. You going over there to be a slave for them people. I got my check coming. But you don't realize when you take on that idea, that mentality, you've relegated yourself to unimportant forever. You are legit put in a place, in a box, in a position where you are controlled by the people that, you are most at odds with in your own mind. But I think I heard a guy say, and it might have been the Wall Street Trapper. I follow him on social media. Shout out Trap. He said, if you let them feed you, you can't be mad when they take the food away. Right? Mm-hmm. And what that means, it's like, whatever it is that you're putting out there, you think that you're getting over by not having to go to work and you got somebody that's accommodating your life. You are 100% under the thumb of the guys that you say are oppressing you. You are accepting that oppression. So I've never, in the struggle, I can see how you got to where you're at. I can see why we are where we are. And now that I can see it, I can't accept that that's the way I'm supposed to continue to act, because I realize you act the way you do because you are following a script that was designed for you, not by you, but for you.
Oh, it's interesting.
Come on now, listen.
Who's designing the script?
Who's this? Right. Who's designing the script? Because when you think about it, there's media companies, there's music industry, and the things that get on that we are able to listen to, the programming that we do have is just that. It's programming. It's programming. If you don't even like the song, but you hear the song so many times that you know the song word for word, and you're singing these lyrics, they're raunchier and raunchier and raunchier right now. You're so focused on everything that's negative and not beneficial or going to change your life in the slightest. I'm going to tell you to be a hustler. I'm going to tell you to be a gangster. I'm going to tell you to be a pimp. I'm going to tell you to do all of these things that don't bring any value to your community. I'm just going to tell you to keep doing the nonsense that you've been doing, because you know what? It allows me to control you. And as long as I control you, I don't have to worry about you. You're not a problem.
And you're a consumer.
And you're a consumer for your life.
I'm thinking about what is the magic of keeping people in that situation, and it's because now we got some consumers.
Yeah,
that's who's buying the sneakers and the rims.
Of course,
you know
that's what you're doing. You go work a 10-hour, 12-hour day at a menial job. One, you're not going to try to do anything greater than that menial job because you don't have those ambitions in you. You don't have a financial education to say this is what's going to happen if you save your money, or if you invest, or if you buy, instead of buying the Nikes, if you buy Nike, the company.
Haha, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If you buy Nike, the company, with that same $100, every time you was getting ready to go buy some J's, you put 150 in Nike stock. Well, look, that Nike stock not only is going to maintain its value, maybe it goes up and down depending on the stock market, but Nike's going to kick you a dividend for saying, hey, way to go for being an investor. Wait, so every $150 that I was going to spend on J's, I took that and I bought Nike stock. Now I'm getting dividends. On top of that, the money never went anywhere. Wait, I can make a loan against that equity? I don't need a bank. I am the bank. That's not information that's given. Now we're going to show you the commercial and say, go put on the J's because it'll make you jump higher and you can still play basketball. Listen, of the however many million inner city kids, there's 31 basketball teams with 14 people on each team? What's the odds, bro?
Yeah.
What's the odds? But anybody can open a Robinhood account. Anybody can go to Charles Schwab. Anybody can put $1,000 away and go buy that Nike stock and keep doing it over the course of, your 5 years, your 10 years, your 20 years, and you could be sitting on an M so quick because that money is going to keep doubling and tripling and exponentially growing, where you now have the access at wealth.
So you talked about prison gave you some hunger. It gave you some desire to never be in that situation, to improve yourself, to get somewhere. You said something earlier about being significant. That's not the word you use, but something about, becoming somebody, doing something with yourself. So I want to talk about some of the ways that you've done that, man. You're obviously well on your way. You got 3 businesses, and talked about earlier, I forget who you were talking about, a coach maybe, or someone was a mentor, but in the pre-show talk that we had here, pre-gaming it, you were talking about some others who had mentored you. Oh, that was the guy the janitor for the church or whatever. He was a mentor, and the pastor.
Yeah.
By the way, you're still involved. You're going.
All of them.
You ain't just there to get opportunities. You're there you're there for the whole thing, right?
I was baptized Memorial Day a year or 2 ago. I don't know. I think I just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of being baptized, and finding and following Jesus Christ every day. I have no qualms about that, man, because I used to be of the thought process that I was agnostic and I don't know. So, but that's nonsense, right? Look around you. When you look at how the body, the cells, the muscles, everything is set in divine order. Okay, say there's not a God that's right now watching my every move in life and, helping me make decisions, right? But at some point, somebody set all of this stuff in motion.
Right.
And it's in a divine order, man, how the trees grow, release carbon dioxide or release oxygen, and we release carbon dioxide that keeps the trees growing. Like that's,
seriously,
it's bigger than, you know what I mean? Like then this is not accidental.
Yeah.
How we're here and what we're doing and how we're living. It's not accidental how there's, there's seasons.
Yes, I'm with you.
There's seasons, you know what I mean? There's seasons where in certain seasons, animals naturally want to go in and reproduce. how, bees know where to go to get, like, all of this stuff is like it's perfect in its design and its orchestration. And there's no way that this is all just happenstance. This is just, you don't have to believe in and follow Jesus. You don't want to believe that he died on the cross. You think it's a fairy tale. But how can every religion, every culture, every human on the planet, every type of people have some type of understanding for something greater than us, right? So it was a no-brainer for me to find faith. Like, I just didn't know how serious it was. And until I started observing, like, not only that things are in order, but when you are faithful, when you follow the word, when you follow like everything that's put in the Bible, I'm a realist to say, I know man has had his hand on it, right? I know that, right. there was a conclave, a canon meeting, and they decided what books were what, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But at some point, the thing that has lasted throughout every man's chance and try and attempt to disrupt it and corrupt it and use it for his negative, like the word of God has stood, bro. And his promises stand. His promises Amen. Are true. When you post up and you really look at it, like, I think I heard today, my Pastor Scott said, you may not have always gotten what you want. No, that was Pastor Gene. You may not have gotten what you wanted, but as God always has given you what you needed. May not have always gotten what you wanted, but God has always given you what you needed. Like, if you really think about
it. You had everything you ever needed.
Always.
It worked out. It worked out, whatever it was.
Listen, I had a personal crisis going on last week. Well, like every other week anyway. I had a personal crisis going on last week because my pastor, another pastor at Hope, man, brilliant brother, man, Pastor Ricky said, we have these challenges where our faith meets reality. I know I'm supposed to be faithful. I know I'm supposed to just depend and close and abide in God and just, take that alone time and just wait for it all to happen. And God, I got this dude knocking on my door right now that I owe bread right now. Like, these people talk about they finna take my car, God. Like, you know what I mean? I know you gonna always have what I need, but I kind of need the car right now, Jesus. Like, where are you at right now, God? Like, can you please just, like 5-6 bands would make this thing make a lot more sense. Listen, and I had a personal crisis going where I was in that place. But I have a praying wife. And, we just, she calms me, man. She calms my spirit where I'm like, it's bad, babe. I don't feel good, babe. I don't feel good about the things that are happening. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be in this place. I work too hard, right? But the things that I'm working at, I'm being met with resistance, and I'm running into walls and obstacles and stuff that I'm not planning this. I had my merchant processing system just stop for 2 weeks. I run like one of the worst things in business is that when you have your mind and your systems and processes and you've done good work for your clients and they're willing to pay you, they're paying on time. They're trying to get settled up so you can keep doing what you're doing. You got a good thing going. Hey, we like you over here. Come on back. Here's the check. Come on back. And no, I can't cash the check.
You can't collect the money.
I can't collect the money. Bro, I got to send this guy to somewhere else hey, you got to do this pay system over here. I'm going to send you a new link. Like,
oh, man.
And I'm in 4-year business. So this is not, me, Ramsey Venner, the guy that's doing some side cleaning on the side. Nah, I got a brand.
You got people pay that. You paying them.
I got a label. I got employees, man, that are, I'm taking care of their families too. These dudes have to answer to their wives. You feel me? Like,
God bless them.
Right. They got to answer to their people, man. They got kids at home and they just jam me up on one side. So I'm like, where did that come from? Right.
What happened? Now I wonder how it shakes out. What happened?
Just the same spirit, man. Same spirit, that same energy that said, nah, I'm not going to, if you give me the opportunity, I'm going to make it happen. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I got to do. I don't care who I got to borrow from. I don't care where I got to go take out a loan. Listen, man, you worked your time. You put in time for Clean Freak. You got a check coming. If something happened to that check, boom, I'll make it right. I don't care. On my family, listen, babe, it's rough right now. I got to make a move. I got to figure out some kind of how to get our people paid, pay our people. We pay our people. We took care of that. And I got to work it out with the bank. I got to work it out with the merchant processor. System. If I got to jump into a different system, that's not their problem, right? They're doing what they're supposed to do by us, so we're going to do what we're supposed to do by them. But, yeah, I'm
that's scary, man.
I'm up at 4 or 5 in the morning screaming on the phone. God, you got to get my You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's evening out. You know what I mean? But yeah, it put us in a bind. And in that, you're sitting there like, God, what did I do to get this one? You know what I mean? But nah, don't worry about it. I'm moving you. You think I'm moving you in the wrong, like you think something's happening to you, but understand it's just something that is happening for you.
Yeah. And the rain falls on the just and the unjust.
Yes,
right?
sir.
This happens. I mean, it just some of that stuff just happens. I wanted to talk about mentors. So, talk about some of the men in your life. This whole thing is centered around men being better. You've taken from where you were, and man, just really, I mean, it's just miraculous what you've turned yourself into. How you're evolving as a man. But what other men have made a difference for you? Who are the key players that you look back on and that you trusted that helped you get?
Well, I actually have a mentor, man, that I meet with. I don't want to name drop him, but yeah, I got a real solid mentor that, I don't get as much time as I would like because he's a busy guy, but keeps me focused. And just having a sounding board, right? Like look, man, this is what I'm going through. I've never gone through anything like this before. Give me some insight. Sometimes it can be as little as just, being in the presence of like somebody who's accomplished, right?
Right.
Where you ask a different type of question because of who you're talking to. Like if I was talking to my 5-year-old or my 6-year-old, I'm gonna be like, "Dang, what should daddy do about this account?" Right? and the information is not going to be that poignant, right? Because I'm not asking for a serious response. But when I sit down and I'm getting ready to ask this guy a question, well, I've evaluated the question because I don't want him to give me the like, bro, you know what I mean? Like my time is valuable. So you ain't thought about this yet?
Don't waste my time.
So yeah, I have to go through the paces in my own brain before I ask the question. And sometimes even when I fire it off, after I've gone through all of the paces, as soon as I say it and I'm in this guy's presence, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. All right, I got it. I got it. You know what I mean? Just because I know what he would probably say to me, right? So, and of all of the things that I've read and heard and seen and talked about, like there's a definite need for you to have a mentor, not on a short term, but for long term. We all need mentors because just like in sports, Coach John Baxter was my special teams coach for Fresno State. He said, he used to drill us. He said, what is a coach? He said, a coach is a person that can take you to a place that you can't take yourself. Wow. Right?
Yeah.
So you're going to get a coach for football. You get a coach for tennis. People get coaches for lifting weights, all of the sports and that, because you want these people to make you better than you currently are. Well, why not get a coach for life or a coach for business? A coach for whatever the thing is.
So you were talking about a system where you're kind of you got a package where you would coach someone who you want to share the knowledge that you've gained in the last 4 years as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
That's kind of would be a coaching type thing you're doing. What about other men in your life? Men who made a difference, men who just maybe it's not an arranged mentor conversation. Maybe it's a family member or a friend or a coach or someone who just had an impact. And what did they do to make an impact? I gotta tell
you, through sports, you start seeing a different side of humanity. Like I started seeing solid men when I started playing football. Like there were some dudes that were like, you could still tell they were jokers in their own life, right? But when I got to the university level and I got to go to like some of my coaches' houses and like I could see, like that these were people that were like serious dudes, like, influential, good-hearted, God-fearing, and they had families.
Family men, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this guy is pouring his heart out on the field. He's there watching film after the fact, and, it's probably causing a strain on his relationship, his family, but they know who dad is. That, like, there are some guys that, I don't know, I mean, I probably had some terrible coaches that, had terrible lives outside of football, but the ones that were like real solid, great coaches, they were solid men. They were solid family men. They had like, when they showed up, their kids were in tow, the wife was there, she was supportive. Maybe, she probably wanted more time at home and all the things, right? Because that's life. Like in my own life, I've noticed that like as a man, when you're trying to do the right thing, it's one of the hardest things because everything needs your attention right now and all of it. How do you decide? How do you decipher? How much time do you spend with the kids? How much time do you spend with the wife? Especially trying to build a business.
Oh my goodness.
How much time can you, but it's unlimited. Yeah. It's unlimited. It's unlimited how many things I could be doing right now, how many things I should be doing right now. I should be 17 other places doing 9 other things. I should have more people working for me. I should be better to my clients. I should do more stuff for my employees. I should be out here tuning up this car. I should, put the light bulb or, you know what I mean? Whatever it is at the house. I'm supposed to tighten up this doorknob. Like I've walked by this washing machine so many times. You know what I mean? I should take my kid out back here and throw the ball some more. And then I got another kid that I should take over here to the tennis. And I got another kid that wants to just go to the playground and just wants to be in daddy's face. Like what do you do? You know what I mean? What do you do?
What do you do? What do you do? Because you're doing it.
Listen, man, I love all my people, man. And it's one of the greatest joys to me. I think you asked me a question, or maybe your assistant asked me a question. Like, what do I do outside of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, work is kind of my pleasure just because of where I am in my season, right? My season right now is not about, and I've taken on the responsibility in this life that if anybody's going to turn the direction of my family, me. I bear that responsibility. I bear that, like the cross, right? That's my cross. I don't have another person that's going to come and save the day for us. I want my daughter and this is my grown daughter that's in college now. Bless her. She's at University of San Diego in law school.
Wow.
Right now, right? And this is the one that they were saying if I hid behind a little girl, this one,
yeah.
She's not a little girl no more. She's a grown woman and she's doing her stuff. Amazing. Shout out to you, Isis. But from her to my Juliet, to my Shiloh, to Georgia, to Francis, to my new baby that's on the way. Listen, I want them to know, man, that they got a dude that's going to go the whole way for them. And they're my joys. My wife is my joy. So I go and I'll give it all I got. I'll sell out, bro. At work, I'll sell out. Up at 4 a.m, whatever it takes to setting schedules and making sure everybody's going to be where they're going to be. And if it's making contact calls with clients or even setting my agenda for what I need to have happen that day or any problems that I've missed or bills that I got to pay, like I do all of that at the wee hours, the small hours before they wake up. When they wake up, I'm dad. Because I can't, twofold. One, you can't do anything like where you got to lock in and focus when you got little ones, right?
Little ones all on you.
So, I'm dad, okay? When it's time for me to go to the office or they get put down for a nap, then I can crank it back up again and get back into my work mode. But, everything has a time and a place. And my wife is super supportive. She's there. And when I shut down at work and I come home, I've gotten to this point now in my business where I can put my phone to the side and I've, given responsibility to my people so that they can do the
delegate that
25
stuff.
things so I'm getting in a place where I can chop it up and say, okay, this is my work day. Now you guys have to do your job. I'm not going to solve every problem. Some things you should understand. So as a business owner, that puts you in a position like, how can I train this guy to do this thing that they come and find me for it? Nah, I shouldn't be the only person with all the answers. And that makes you have a different realization. Do you want to scale, or do you want to be the only person with all of the keys, or the only person with all of the information, all the answers, or you're the only one to talk to the clients? No, I don't want to be that anymore.
I heard a guy, one of my mentors said, a leader doesn't do the work of 10 men.
Right.
He got 10 men doing the work.
That part.
You know?
That part.
But you're still very involved. You got your hands all in the business. We were just talking about other men that have helped you be a man.
Yeah. So I give a lot of props to my dad, right? My dad was he was born in 1930. So a different era. Yeah.
Dang.
My dad was born in 1930 in San Andres in Providencia, Colombia. So he came to America basically as like a teenager, 12 or 13 years old. Both of his parents had passed over in Colombia. He got on a boat as like a deckhand early in his life just to like kind of find his way. Uncles, I got, over there, uncles and aunts that I don't know so swell, but he came over here and, just decided that he was going to make his own path. And, probably by the time he met my mom, he had three other kids. And they're all like older than me by like, I don't know, like 20 years now. But he came here, and everything that I knew of my dad from my adolescence was he just had a glow on him, man. He had a glow. Like, he didn't live with us because he was on boats, and we lived in Florida and in Texas, and he lived in Hawaii at one point. I guess it was either marital or economical, meaning, that's where the jobs were, and he like went there. However it played out, we weren't always with him, but when he showed up, like, he was the dude. He was the dude. Like, my dad in all of his old pictures, super sharp dresser, he just had like a real flyness about him, man. And I always
sound like an alpha right there.
Yeah, he just had a flyness about him, and I used to like look and the deference that people gave to him, like, loved. You know what I mean? He wasn't like people sneered at him like he did anything bad, or he never had bad relations that I could ever see. And I went places with him. He, tell me about, like, when we went to the bank and stuff like that, he'd always be like, Ramsey, you stand up. And you know what I mean? Like, he just was a stern dude, but like quiet, focused, sharp. And I just would, I didn't get enough time around him to like approach and like copy his mannerisms like most do, right?
Yeah. But
just, there was this vibe when my dad was around that he was the guy and there was no questions about it, right? So that's on the me looking side, right? And then my mom, because of course he was from Colombia and we were, black and poor in West Palm Beach, Florida. Everything that she said, they your dad be on them boats and he from Colombia. So, he'd probably go and make a move and come back and there'd be money in a briefcase. And so it was like this like folklore around my dad. Like, was he really somebody? Was he like one of them dudes? Or like, no, I gotta have some people that's over there doing some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we real Colombians though. You know what I mean? So that always played its part, and it was cool. It was funny, but my dad controlled his alcohol. He was never loud, never aggressive. I never seen him like, get into real arguments with my mom. I never seen any of that. So I just always had this picture of that's what a man is. You know what I mean? He was a man. Took care of us, sent us money, even when they weren't like together. Like, he was just the dude. So long story short, I checked him out and that's kind of how I modeled myself. But then as I got a little older and I started looking at the world a different kind of way, like, I lived with him from all my high school years, from 93 to 97. I had the opportunity to come and live with him in California. We moved to California, to Oakland, California.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, like, I got to see him, go to work, and, he came back and they like took care of the bills. He was getting his butt kicked a lot of times at that job. but he made great money on the boats in San Francisco. He was a deckhand over there, like $33 an hour or something like that. Like it was just, he always like, he wasn't like destitute. He wasn't bad. He wasn't like a mean spirited dude, and always like comedy, had his own little way, things that he laughed at, and I followed suit. Like I just felt like that presence is what I wanted to give to my kids, what I wanted to be. So my pops is a big influence on me in that way. And then I got in trouble, went to jail. He had moved to Louisiana, and I got a call one morning while I was opening the restaurant in Reno from the coroner's office in Bogalusa, Louisiana. Like, first off, I didn't even know where this place was. I didn't know how he found himself there. But him and my, I guess, his wife at the time, different from my mom, another lady that he ended up living with, had moved down there because that's where she was from. And I get the call that, this is Ramsey Venner. And I was like, yeah. Like, well, I don't know how to tell you this, but, I have Ramsey Sr. here in our office. And I was like, doing what? She's like, I was like, you said this is a coroner's office? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, are you saying my dad is like asked? And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to tell you, sir. And then it just was like, out of the clear blue yonder, a week previous, I had talked to him about coming to live with me in Reno, right? He was like, man, I hate it down here, man, So, we had this whole little, I'm not going to say it's conspiracy. Like, we never found out truthfully, if it was health or not health related, but it just was, it was like kind of a mysterious thing kind of that happened. And when that hit me, I don't know, we went down, I met with my Colombian brothers and sisters, and my actual sister, my mom, we all went down and we led them to rest down there. And it was like, I guess the gravity of I was the last Venner male kind of hit me at that point, right? Like, it's on me, you know what I mean? And I'm doing nonsense. I'm not like really living good. I'm I was in Reno being a rapper. I was a rapper in Reno. Like, I was repping the 775, Dub 75, baby. Hey, listen. Big Soup, man. I was out there. Listen, y'all can find some of that Big Soup material out there, man. I'm still out there, man. But
we gotta tag that in the show notes.
For sure, man. Listen, but yeah, we did that, and it was cool. But I had my pops. He passed, and it just started feeling like it's time to get serious about life, man. And I tried to tighten up, but I couldn't get it right. Like, I don't know if you've seen that movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Mm-hmm. Can't get right, man. I just can't get right out there. So, yeah, I moved to Vegas and started tightening up. So, to your question about mentors and who really influenced me, him in his presence and him in his absence as well.
Wow. Meaning before he passed and since.
Yeah. Just like it's crazy as we grow into adults, all of those little sayings that, your people say. My dad used to have one, and I always do the accent because I can hear him in my head be like, 5 minutes more, 5 minutes less, doesn't matter. he would tell me, like, don't be in a haste. Don't be in a rush. 5 minutes more, 5 minutes less. You know what I mean? Like, if you get there, you get there. If you don't go nuts about it. But, or if you need to leave 5 minutes early. Stuff like that. And I can hear him call it Ramsey. He used to call me Ramsey, like Ramsey, and tell me about like having I'm in Oakland, right? So he's like, man, you have 4 or 5 of them cousins in your car. And he was talking about brothers, right? Yeah. 4 or 5 of them cousins in your car, you're gonna have trouble, man. You're gonna have trouble. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna have trouble with that. But I'm on the football team, and I'm riding around with my dudes, and sure enough, every time I loaded up and was like driving everybody everywhere, pulled over, right? So all that wisdom comes back when you grow into being a man, and you're like, I should just listen, or like he was dead on with that. You know what I mean? Or I can hear it in these moments and I apply it. When before it was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here, man. You from Colombia somewhere, man. that's that game for over there, man. That stuff don't work here, man. It's just something different. But
I did not know that about you, about your dad, man. But I've heard little accents or little things, and I'm like, where is this dude from? Like, but sometimes if your parents have accent, even if you grew up in California or whatever, like, then I can tell in you, and I hear little things sometimes that it makes me wonder. That must be it.
Listen, I got to tell you, it's one of the secret weapons. Like especially when I went to prison, I'll be sitting there, and everything is racial and political and all bad. You know what I mean?
Where you from? Yeah.
And I'll be sitting there in the middle, and they be like, "Get me out there," talking all of that stuff on the low. I'm like, "What you call me, bro?" And like, wait. Nah, bro. I say, and you're like, "Hey, yo, puedo hablar en cualquier idioma que quiere decir." You know what I mean? And I give it to them right there, and they be like, I love it, bro. So that I do. I was teaching myself how to read and write in German before I went, and when I went there, I had that fluent for a little bit, but there's no German speakers in Las Vegas, so I kind of lost a lot of that tongue.
That's crazy. So how many languages do you speak?
Now just English and Spanish. I was real heavy on the German. I was learning ASL too for a little bit, but you got to practice that
You're
stuff.
Different. That's what I'm saying, man. You're a different kind of guy. You know what I mean? You're taking advantage of every single opportunity.
Why not? What else are you doing? That's what I'm saying though. Like, so prison was that for me, bro. Wait, you gonna lock me in a room, give me 24 hours. I don't have kids, bills, distractions. I can't watch TV. There's no internet. There's no cell phone. Can't hustle. No woman. Yeah, I'm gonna be the best me I could be.
You're gonna get swollen, get swollen, get smart.
I'm saying, get swollen, get smart, man. Nothing else going on. Everything else seems like insignificant if I choose to have a different life. If I ain't come out of here the exact same way that I went in, that's my bad. That's my bad, right? But if I'm given this opportunity, I need to make it so that you never, ever, ever have this opportunity to put me away again. And that was literally my mantra, bro. I'd be sitting there. I ended up like figuring out how to get grants for college.
Mm-hmm.
I got my college degree while I was locked up. I learned how to play the piano while I was locked up.
This fool plays the piano. What other kind of surprises you got? He speaks Spanish. He played the piano.
Listen, man.
He plays football with the cars.
If you get a stretch like I got a stretch, I doubt many people gonna trade. You know what I mean? 6-7 years of their life to learn how to play the piano. You know what I mean? Like, or to speak Spanish or anything else. These are cool, but they came at a price. These talents right now are cool, but they came at a price. Jim Rohn says, if you want your life to change, then you have to change, right? And the minute that you change, everything around you will change. He said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
So you're quoting some of these guys. That means you're listening. That means you're looking for it. That means you're out there trying to get wisdom.
Yes.
I mean, that's something that I've always admired about you is just that you're looking, you're listening, watching, you got something running in your mind, you're reading, you're doing things to get more information.
You got to do it. And in this right now, technology information age, right? We got access to everything and we choose nothing. We choose nonsense. We choose stuff that does not move the needle one iota. You got the entire world at you can YouTube right now or Google how to do anything. You could build an airplane in your garage.
Yep.
Right now. There's somebody who's put that information out there. You can learn how to be the best stockbroker. You can learn how to be even the best dad. Like there's techniques. There's like things you could do. You can have conversation starters. You can have better ways to better your communication. You can effectively use your social media to increase your bottom line, bro. You can Google anything. We have all of the information in the computers that's in our hands, and what we do with them, we choose to look at cat videos. And
I love what you said. We have access to everything and we choose nothing.
And we choose nothing. We choose to watch somebody else being goofy or significant.
Why do you think that is? Why is it so easy for people to just be easy and, I don't know, ordinary? I'm like you, man. I'm driven. I mean, I'm over here at work at Sunday night at 9 o'clock. So
come on, man. I'm right here with
and
you.
You said earlier, you said my business is my pleasure.
Yeah.
That's how you live. I don't know. I just think that's, but what's everybody else doing? Because I don't know. I don't understand why people look at cat videos instead of learn how to learn how things work. Right.
And but it's, so there's two things at play, right? We have a natural, I think, proclivity to choose the path of least resistance. I'm not gonna do the thing that's hard. I'm not gonna do the thing that's tough. Instead, I want to check out.
Save my energy, save my calories.
I'm gonna save my calories, save my energy. I'm gonna do something later. I get to that tomorrow. Is it necessary that I do that right now? I mean, sure, man. I got a long life to live. Like, the thing that we don't do is take stock and put value in the thing that matters the most. The one asset that we cannot get more of is time. Prison showed me that time is the most valuable asset, that all you can do is spend it. You can't get more of it. All you can do is manage how you spend it. Budget your time. Make it a serious priority how those minutes are wasted. Like, every 10 minutes that you're scrolling, if you accumulate those 10 minutes and say, I was trying to get a college degree, I would be how much closer to having that college degree? If I spent the 10 minutes instead of just scrolling through, like, you know, the pictures and the photos and look at the the T and the A, and you feel me? Yeah. If I took that time and said, okay, I'm going to actually lock in on this time and learn how to expand my business in this way, or I'm going to learn how to be like, I'm going to learn how to get stains. Let's go simple. I'm going to learn how to get stains out the carpet because I don't know how to do that. Mm. You could spend that time, and now I have a skill that's not only valuable for me, I can directly translate that skill into money right now. But now I could teach somebody else how to do it and multiply and magnify my income by how many people I teach how to do this. If I can market their services, hey, Jeff Bezos isn't a billionaire because Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk personally go and build Teslas.
Right.
Bro commands 40,000 people in his organization. He commands 100,000 individuals that, when I say this is his God power, right?
Yeah.
You don't really think about it, but he's got geniuses on his payroll. He's got access to the information that, like, the actual person that probably put up the YouTube video, right?
Right.
And when he has a thought, it seems goofy to us. I want to build a tunnel under the Los Angeles, and I want to put a train under Los Angeles because it's just how. Well, you got the money. Okay, it's a crack team of scientists working on it.
Yeah.
I got engineers that will come up with the best designs and plans. Yeah, let's do it. I got a legal team that's going to go stand in line for me and get the permits from the city. I got an advertising and marketing team that on the day that I say it's a release, everywhere in America, the same picture and the same image pops up on benches and on TV and on billboards. I can snap my finger and there's a new reality.
That's leadership.
Bro, that's where the power is. It's not in, I'm going to just go and grind and I'm going to just grind and hustle and I'm going to just do it myself and I don't want nobody to help me. I'm the best at it. Bro, I gave that philosophy up right at year 2 of my company. I was like,
I'm self-employed. It's just me, really. I have a VA and I have a practice manager and stuff like that. But I there's a huge risk in taking that leap, because I believe you. I think I would want to do that, but then you got the payroll and then you got the other things that come along with that. But it must be, because the way you're talking about it, even with those occasional little blips and those little attention, I just know a lot of people that have businesses with 20 employees or whatever, and they're borrowing here, borrowing there. They got cash flow. They're trying to make it all work, and it does. And it works out big time, really. But that's just a big leap of faith. And for myself, I'd love to have other coaches and therapists working with me, but that's just a big leap. Anyway, so dude, you're a remarkable guy, man.
I appreciate it.
You got genius, you have all kind of sharpness. And there's a lot of people who are sharp intellectually, but I would never call them sharp because you got all the charisma. You got all the cool swagger. My kids say, don't say swagger. That's a bad,
swag is going away. Yeah, swag is going away. We don't, the swag is leaving these. I don't know why the swag is going.
You got all kind of big energy, if you know what I'm saying. But I wonder, what are some of the errors that you think men are making out there? The typical guy, what are some of the things that typical man, he needs to look at?
You know what? The first thing that I think, like the book of Proverbs says that fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. When I got arrested on my big case that sent me away for 7 years, I went to the branch in Sacramento. So they took me from court to, and that's when it hits, Doc. That's when it hits. Like the rest of all of it, it's fun and games when you're in the visiting booth and you're trying to, convince your girl to something. Let me see something, man. You're doing all that foolishness. That's you still playing. You still playing with life. You haven't felt the gravity of it till you get in that bus and they take you away. Because there's no prisons that are real close. It's when they take you away. And now you're going for some while. And when you see it and you look around and this is what I've made of my life. This is what it is now. And you have to let that reality sink in just a little bit so I did that, right? And one of the first I grabbed the Bible because, okay, now, God, all right, God, listen, you was right. I was wrong. Let's work on this relationship, right? And it's too late then as far as it having something to do with the outcome.
Right.
But, better late than never, right?
Yeah.
So I grabbed the book of Proverbs. I grabbed the Bible, and the first book I opened was the book of Proverbs. And I think it might have been Proverbs 1, the first bar. And it says that fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That has always resonated with me because it's when you realize that there's something going on that's bigger than you, there's something at play that's bigger than you. When not fear, I'm afraid God is going to strike me down, but fear in the sense that you realize that there's something that's bigger and broader and wider and more expansive than whatever you've been calling your reality.
Your little world.
Your little world, bro.
So little, yeah.
It's microscopic. These things that you've been pursuing and spending your time and your energy on, there's so much more. It's so much more abundance and greater than what you've been focusing on. If you can just take your eyes off of your situation and look a little bit further, look a little bit past where take that horizon back just a little bit and take it all in, and you can see that, look, this is recognizing that you are not here by accident. But what are you going to do with this opportunity? You're not here by accident, but what are you going to do with the opportunity that I've given you to be on this earth, to exist in the fullness and the richness of everything that I've created? And you're taking this opportunity and you're squandering it. You have the ability to create life. How we were talking about Elon Musk and them.
Right.
My first kind of introduction to a thought process like that was Henry Ford, right? Mm-hmm. Made the Mustang, made the Model T. Henry Ford was one of the greatest businessmen in all of basically in American business history. Henry Ford made the Model T, but he was widely thought of as a buffoon. They always used to crack on him man, how is this dude? You know what I mean? Hey, and he had an unbreakable tenacity. I read his biography when I was in prison, and his thing was there was only a 4-cylinder engine block. Lee Iacocca was the other one that took it to 8, but he made the Model T. And he was always getting, derided for being a buffoon and an idiot. And then they called him in one day and was like, or I think he had got slandered in a newspaper. And he called the dude to the mat. And he was like, listen, everybody who has a question about my ability, my reasoning, my understanding, how much information that I can get, I want you to come in. And he called a meeting of all these people and got them into his office, the Ford office in Detroit, sat them all around the round table. Anybody here at this table, ask me a question. You have questions about my competency, ask me a question. Any question under the sun, and I will get you an answer in 2 minutes. Because Henry Ford had that access. He pick up the phone and talk to anybody he wanted to. He was Henry Ford.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend, bro. They asked him about physics. They asked him about chemistry. They asked him about bio. I don't know. Hold on, give me. Let me dial this number up. Right? So he understood at that era back then, the ability to harness information. You harness the information and you can synthesize it and use it for whatever you want to. We were just talking about your God power. Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos, these dudes aren't even in this planet. Their thought process is about how we get to Mars and what's the colony there going to look like. And
that's wild.
Bro, their thought processes are different, right? And they're humans. They're men like me and you. They're probably like the same age, right around that, right? But just that their level of thinking and understanding, their reasoning about how things work and how the world works is just on a different level. It's not this base level that we're on. Like, I'm going to just get up and pay these bills. Like, I'm going to get, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go to work so I can make this car note. Nah, they're Kanye West, bro. People hate Yeezy, bro, but Yeezy is like, man, I was saying this stuff 10 years ago. Everything that y'all was mad at me for, that right now y'all giving me props for back then, I said 10 years ago and you hated me when I said it then. But it's all come to fruition.
Yeah.
It's all come to fruition. Tell me I'm not, everything that I said I was going to be back then. And now that I'm spouting off more nonsense right now, I bet I have all of these things 10 years from now.
So, all right, man, dude, you are something else. I am just a couple of times today. I got goosebumps, man. Some of the things you're saying, it's really fascinating just to see. You got this like philosopher's mind. You got an athlete's body, philosopher's mind. You got an entrepreneur spirit. You got
we call it the cheat codes, man. I got the cheat codes, man. Dolores and Ramsey, I love y'all. Thank y'all. Shout out, man. Y'all made me into this. And God put a little, on the top.
Well, you did something too. That's why you're here, man. You're not just a local business owner. You're not just a dad. You're doing all these things at a high level. We talked about some of your personal relationships and stuff like that, and everything you're doing, you always seem to be asking questions about how to get yourself in a better spot.
Yeah.
Whether it's, business stuff, your workouts, your employees, things at home with the missus, seems like you're always just hungry. So in the errors that men make, it sounds like you were, I couldn't tell if you were talking about confidence or humility, because there's really both there, that we can be both. We got to be humble enough, and maybe prison taught you some humility. Do you think you would have been this guy without that? I mean, because you got a sharp mind. You have a lot of great qualities that some of that maybe just you were born with.
I think I process negativity a little different than other people too. I think I process negativity a lot different, actually. Like, I don't have the spirit to dwell in the negative. I don't hold grudges. I can't. Like, it makes me feel bad, right? So in AA. And because I went through AA, right?
Nice. Love that. I wanted to ask you. I'm glad you came back to that.
AA says that, holding grudges is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. So for me, I just have never been able to, even if I'm mad at somebody, I can stop messing with you because I feel like it's not a good look for me or I've ceased to see the benefit in this relationship, right?
Right.
But I never just was nasty or spiteful to people just on the strength that we don't see eye to eye or we don't get along about a thing. Like I just felt like, all right, bet, boom, that's a old chapter. But I don't know, man. I'm not very good with boundaries. You know what I mean? I guess that's a thing. My wife always tells me I'm not very good with boundaries. I used to think it was a strength to not have had like terrible breakups. When I was single, I was like, I thought that was a strength. Like, oh man, like any of my exes, I could probably hit them up and it's, whatever it is, if it's for help, if it's for, some nonsense, I thought that was a strength. But at this place in life and relationship, I do better by boundaries because there's people that'll take advantage of you if you leave those doors open.
That's right. Yeah.
And there's people that'll take advantage of you or you won't reach your full potential because, again, you're halfway in, halfway out of a situation. I think it says, God wants you to either be hot or cold, right?
Right.
Don't be lukewarm. So I used to love the lukewarm. I love the gray area. I made an album called The Gray Area, Big Soup, The Gray Area. You got to get that. The gray area where I just thought it was like the coolest to be, hey man, I'm here or I'm not. And no biggie. Like she used to hear me talking on the phone and like when you're in the game, when you're in the life, you say stuff without saying it or you don't say nothing at all and you say a bunch of things at the same time, right? So yeah, man, I'm gonna holler at you later. It's not really that I agree or I disagree or yes or no, but I'm gonna holler at you later about it, right? So
a little bit.
What does that mean?
Ambivalent, yeah, a little bit ambiguous. Yeah.
And I live right there, right? So people probably would walk away from me like, so is he coming? Are you gonna be here? Yeah, man, I'm gonna holler. I'll see what's going on and I'll let you know, bro. Like,
oh, non-committal,
super non-committal, but now you have to make your yeses mean yes and your no's mean no and stand on it because people actually start looking at you and it makes a difference in how you carry yourself and how people, interact with you and know what to expect from you. Yeah, he said no, but if you talk to him again, he might be on something different. Or, yeah, she was, you know what I mean? Like you never really stake a position. And for me, I like it because I always like being able to, depending on how I'm feeling, make a different outcome. I tell my fam all the time that the best thing in the world to have is options, right? The best thing in the world to have is options. I still stand by that, but how I go about creating those options now have to be within the boundaries of what I want my mission to be, where I'm actually trying to take it, where we want to go with it. Is this in alignment?
It doesn't, if it's not taking you there, you don't want it.
No. Yeah. So the alignment is a big thing. Like alignment is like my sign is a Sagittarius, right? So that's the archer. You got to lock in on your target. And even Diddy's like, lock in. You lock in on your target and you make all of your moves, all of your conversations, all of your actions toward that desired target. And you're going to get there. If the paces are slow, if you're crawling sometimes, if you're, only rolling on, if you're rolling on your side just to get in that direction. But as long as you keep going in that direction, eventually you're going to pull up. And it's going to be where you want to be.
What's something that you're still working on as a man? Something that, you come a long way. You got all kind of maturity and really great things going on. What's something you still struggle, but you're working at?
Saying no is a thing that I'm working on of late. Deciding what my worth is, deciding what my position is, what my posture is, deciding that some things just aren't for me to do, or maybe not this season, maybe not, they don't add value. If they don't add value to me, if they don't add value to my mission, if they don't add value to where I want to take my family, then it's getting easier and easier to make those decisions. Like, no, just not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, or, yeah, it could be an opportunity. Yeah, maybe if, I had a little stronger back, maybe I'd take that on too, but just
Instead of just jumping right on to anything that comes along. Like I love the quote by Warren Buffett that said that the difference between successful people and extremely successful people is that extremely successful people say no to almost everything.
Yeah.
And that's a difficulty for me too, to say no. But it's funny because you think about some rich, successful person, they know how to say no.
Yeah.
You know
all day long.
Yeah.
Nope. That's not. Yeah. No.
Not for
they
me,
got
not
people
for me, not right
that
now.
say no.
Yeah.
They got people that say no for them.
That's
they don't
what I
even,
need. Hire
that stuff
somebody
don't even get to them.
Just answer the phone and tell everybody no, okay?
Yeah, answer the phone, tell them why no. Yep. No, but you have to put yourself in a position that's
right.
the opportunity that you have, right?
Yeah.
Because as we're striving and as we're growing and as we're trying to put it together, the way I feel like I got here is by saying yes to everything. You need me there at 3 a.m, bet. I got it. With you, this a whole hospital by myself? Yeah, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I'm just that's how I got to the place that I'm at right now, where we have employees and we have relationships and we're doing business on every part of this, city. And we have vehicles that are there now. And anytime I click on my phone, I have some people under my label that are at work helping me build a future for our family, like their family as well. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, listen, they're on the clock. I'm talking to you. So this is building in a different way, but understand it took me saying yes to everything to get to this place. Now, as it relates to my personal time, as it relates to what I will do with my energy and my attention.
And even in your companies, because you got other people doing some of that.
Yes. Even as it comes to that, it's we say no when we have to, or no when it's not the right fit, or no, because I've been down that road and I know that it's not as sweet as it sounds. You know what I mean? Like there's some jobs where I'm like, nope. I remember that. Nope. Restaurants. Nope. Won't do them. Because while you're willing to actually pay for us to come and do that service, the problem is for me to have my folks going there night after night after night that don't work in the restaurant industry, when I remember the nights when I worked in the kitchen and it's 2 a.m. and I got to pull up the grates and it's food and it's smell and it's grease, my folks aren't going to be able to respond to that every night in the way that I want my company to be represented. So my brand will suffer because we are not able to fulfill at the level that we're supposed to fulfill. Like we deliver superior cleaning every time. That's our tagline. Superior cleaning every time, right? And we do our muster where we do a whole screaming thing every time, all the time. You know what I mean? And my folks get involved with it because, again, when we're out there and we're servicing our clients, we don't want them to feel like, these dudes came here and phoned it in.
Easy. Yeah. Cut the corners today.
And when I look at, what it takes to do a week of restaurant cleanup, it's not a lot of folks that's cut out for that. Like if you're in the food industry, it comes along with it. But if you're cleaning beautiful buildings and, dealerships and offices and, what I mean, the church lobby, like to send you into that hell, I was like, bro, I don't know. I don't think it's a job for me. I walked out of my job. I walked out of a job because the kitchen was nasty one time. I worked at TGI Fridays. You remember TGI Fridays? They're out of business now. So listen, I walked into TGI Fridays.
You saw it coming.
I was mad. Listen, I was in there cooking and I had that all night in the little appetizer section, and I'm making what was the potato skins and buffalo wings, and I'm greasy, I'm mad. It's like 1:30 in the morning. He's like, yeah, you got to clean out the fryer. The grease is still 350 degrees. I ain't cleaning out no dang fryer right now, man. Listen, you got to clean out that fryer. You got to take and strain the oil through this thing, take the oil, put it back in it. I'm like, listen, I'm going to go ahead and take this apron off.
So you weren't doing janitorial. You worked for TGI.
I worked as a cook. And it was just one night we got slaughtered, right? And I was just like, man, I was done. You know what I mean? Like TGI Fridays used to pop. On the weekends, it used to pop. 1:30, 2:30 in the morning, it's like going. It's done finally. I've been working since 5 o'clock. It's 2:30 in the morning, and now I got to go clean out the fryer? Listen, man, I'm finna go home, man.
I did that. I worked at a Pizza Hut in Florida, and it was really well run. I was like 18, 19. And then I moved to another state and worked at a Pizza Hut. I came in there one day as an opener.
Yeah.
and I was supposed to get the dough going and all this stuff. And they had left it such a mess. I quit the job. I just left.
Yeah.
They walked in. The manager came in at 11. There wasn't no food ready.
Yeah.
Because I just left it.
I'm sorry, bro.
I can't do it. So Clean Freak, that's the name of your company. Are you a clean freak?
I used to be a lot more of a clean freak, and then I started having babies. So now
it's all good. It's just we'll get that.
It's in general. In my personal life, we still maintain a high standard for everything that as it relates to business and our clients. But at my house, like I told you, it's so much time taken away by being in the world and building business. Like you just want to be around your people. So you still go nuts. Yeah, I'm still. I'm sitting here thinking it, but then, me and my wife, we both started fussing around the house like we were, make the kids clean up. Man, you can't just live in squalor.
I'm sure it's beautiful. Like that. I already met your wife. I already know that place is probably run pretty well.
Yeah, she runs a tight ship.
Tell me, man, last question here for you, bro. What is the most alpha thing about you? What attribute, what gift, what talent can you really own, or more than one, but what are the most alpha things about you, the things that are just special about you and that you don't apologize that is a special, unique strength that you have? I
think I've always had the mentality that if any man can do it, then I can do it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's climbing a building. I don't care if it's jumping out of a plane. I don't care if it's starting a business. I don't care if it's learning how to balance a budget. I just don't. The only difference between me and Elon Musk is information. He's got information that I haven't got yet. He's got access to information that I haven't been given yet, or that I haven't sought out yet. I don't know the questions to ask exactly, but if there's something that I want in this world, I can have it. And I don't apologize for that. I don't apologize. And the other part about me, I'm that dude that's gonna go get it. I don't care about sleep. I don't care about people's perception of me. Work too hard. You need to relax. I'll take it from my wife. That's it. But anybody else telling me how I should, adjudicate my time and what I should do with my time and my attention, I don't bar
all your homies mad at you. This dude busy. He got kids. He got a business. He ain't trying to hang out.
I don't have no people like that. Anybody that's just trying to hang out, that's long since gone. Like I had those type of folks when I was sitting in prison, because again, okay, that's the time to hang out. But since I've touched down, I haven't had, there's folks that will either go because they got their own thing going.
Yeah.
And we can commute and talk and maybe go get lunch on that level. Or you tell me what's going on with you and I'll tell you what's going on with me and how can we help each other. Like I have business partners. I got people that I do deals and commitments with. But I don't have a lot of slack, nothing. Like recreational basketball teams seemed like cumbersome to me. I was like, wait, so I'm gonna leave my kids and my business to go shoot around on hoop? Nah. it just where I've kind of trained, and I don't know, I don't have that feeling like I'm approaching burnout or I'm, you know what I mean? I love what I do. I love my life. I love how every day there's a different challenge. I wish a lot of it was, easier or all put together or already done. But I realize right now in the fire, I'm building.
The journey is the destination, right?
Yes, sir.
It's like that.
Yes, sir.
This is the beauty of it.
Yes, sir.
The outcome is right now.
Right now.
You're learning and growing. You're lighting everything up on the inside as you watch it happen. You're figuring out a big old puzzle.
Yes.
How to be a man, how to be a father, how to be a husband, how to be an entrepreneur, how to keep your faith, how to do all the things that are just going to bring you peace and happiness. I love what you've done with your life, man. I love it's even more impressive than I knew it would have been here talking to you tonight. I definitely want to have you back, man.
Oh, anytime.
You definitely have, you just got a great voice. You got a great story. You got wisdom. I want to catch up
giving
with
insight,
you again.
Man. We're giving light and love, man. That's all it is, man. We give light and love and we're just going to keep putting it out there. Listen, anybody who's listening to this program right now, I'm going to do a solid because my dude, Brad, is like my brother from another mother. Listen, you guys want to get into the janitorial space. Even if you don't want to get into the janitorial space, if you want to create a business that's semi-passive that can help you change the course of your family like Clean Freak has done for me, I want to give you a copy of our free ebook.
Okay.
Just all of the folks that are out there in the Alpha Quorum, all of the alphas that are out there listening, this is for you, bro. Right now, go to Ramsey Venner, RamseyVenner.com/ebook.
Okay.
Take that ebook for free. That's on me. I'm giving you guys that code right now. You get the ebook, follow the steps. We have a webinar that's out there, 30-minute webinar. I tell you everything that you're going to need and everything that you're going to learn inside of our program. You like that? Go ahead and follow that trail and get the program, Blueprint to Janitorial Success. Every step that it took us to get there. And I'm going to personally help you get your first couple clients and get you started in the janitorial space. I don't want you to be a frontline worker. This is not that. This is not about getting out there and you don't have to.
You're
not buying a job.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to create a semi-passive business that will get you thousands a month, tens of thousands a month, where you can change what you're doing. You're making $4 or $5 grand at your job right now. You're working 8, 10, 15 hours a day, unsatisfied. You don't like where you live. You don't like where you drive. You don't like who you're talking to. Okay, well, get on board with this Blueprint to Janitorial Success. Take that, learn the lessons that we've put together. I've already done the work for you. You just got to follow suit. There's videos. There's videos from people on my team, testimonials from people who could tell you exactly how we did it. I stand on the things that we put in this video. You take a look at that Blueprint to Janitorial Success, follow yourself down that path. Listen, I'm going to personally be your coach to help you get to where you need to be and start making passive income in the janitorial space. I guarantee you will love everything that you see. And if you follow the steps that we've put together in this program, it will change your life.
Dude, I love it. I want to make sure we usually post this on Thursday, so I want to make sure I have the links and everything.
Yes, sir.
I got to get a cool picture of you.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you being here, Ramsey.
Absolute
I'm
joy.
telling you, man, this has been remarkable to me. It's amazing to me how these episodes keep getting better and better. We're on I think this is maybe 98. Episode 98, man. I've been at this 4 years, and I'm just like, you blowing me away, dude. I'm sitting over here, got the goosebumps listening to what you've shared. Thank you so much, man. We want to get your links out there, your social media, whatever you want to share.
Yeah.
And I'll support anything you're doing, man. If there's something I can do, dude, I'll help you in whatever way I can. So
absolutely.
Thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it. And you guys, here's a story of a man who had every reason to give up.
Yeah.
Continuous arrests, continuous trouble. Substance use was a problem. I'm sure the ladies were a problem.
Oh, yeah.
You got yourself into trouble. You were a high profile person as an athlete, and all that came crashing down. You learned some humility.
Yeah.
Picked up the good book in the big house.
Yeah.
And made a big life for yourself, and are making a big life for yourself because of the result of those things. You're using other men. You've asked me questions about things. I hear you talking to these other men and really pursuing their wisdom, and you just, it's special. It's a privilege for me to sit here and listen to you, man. I can't wait to hear this whole thing put together. I don't think I have one edit. I think I've coughed, or maybe I farted in there somewhere, but
that's life, baby. That's life.
Smooth. This is so smooth. I love how you've spoken here tonight, man. Appreciate it, Ramsey.
I appreciate you.
You guys,
man.
Until next time, no excuses. Alpha up.
Gentlemen, you are the Alpha, and this is the Alpha Quorum.